Welcome back for another video. 56 points all out in Gameweek 22, so a pretty successful game week. Despite blanks from Salah, Palmer and Isak, I mean, who saw that come in? Clean sheets from Munoz and Trent in my team, including a Trent assist for an 11-point haul. Decisive for the Green Arrow and up to 64k now. Isak's run of 8 games scoring in a row coming to an end against Bournemouth in that shock 4-1 defeat. You could tell he was understandably desperate to keep the run going, taking a free kick in the second half just outside the box. Despite Trippier being on the pitch, who surely would have taken it otherwise, and Isak's free kick straight into the wall. Wood with a 12-pointer against the Saints and a Bruno goal again, a reminder of the hidden value of penalty takers. There's approximately a 1 in 5 chance of a penalty being awarded in any given match on average, so if you've got a bunch of penalty takers in your team, then you're giving yourself a higher chance of getting lucky. Bruno didn't do much that game really, all in all, but the penalty meant he came away with 8 points. And that's why I'm actually looking to get Mbumo back in my team soon, now that difficult fixtures are gone. More on that later. Let's have a look at your FPL highs and lows sent in from last game week. Bozza first, he says, back-to-back Foden masterclass has sent my rank to the moon. Yet despite that, he's probably being sold this week. I've got to always be looking forwards, not backwards. The fixtures just look too rough for me. Bozza's gone up to 70th in the world now, fair play. FPL YOLO says, I captain Wood. Yeah, well played Wood captainers, you were right on that one, I was wrong. I just didn't fancy him as the best captain last game, even though he had Southampton. I felt like Isak, Palmer and Salah were probably better, and of course they all blank, so what do I know? And if you did go for Wood, then big gains after those blanks. Joe says, 80k to 133k. Wood and Ain are the only returns, and the team look great on paper. He finished on 35 points, and it is a genuinely great team as well, very unlucky. If it makes you feel any better, the lowest score in the top 10k was 20 points. They didn't get a single return. Salah's 3 points was the highest in their entire team. Robinson's 8 points on their bench as well. I just found another crazy team as well. It's Fleck and Kanate, Burn, Trent, Salah and Mbumo, Eze, Palmer, Watkins, Isak and Wood. Saliba last on the bench. So what's so crazy about this team? Well, we're about 23 game weeks into the season, and this team has not made a single transfer. They've not used a chip, or even changed captaincy off Salah. And they're 532nd in the world. Why did we bother again? Well, actually, this team is why. Prague had sent their team in with probably their greatest game week ever. Said, I gambled on a bench boost, and I ended up on a gaming rank with 364th in the world. 106 points all out. Absolutely crazy. Well played. So let's get into the team for Gameweek 23 and transfer plans for double Gameweek 24 as well. In goal, Raya's got an away game up against Wolves next. We're up next after the Champions League. There's no need to rush your transfers this week because there's lots of European football on before the deadline. Arsenal was second on the clean sheet odds for Gameweek 23, given a 49% chance of shutting Wolves out, who do look like a team in disarray right now. Lamina and Cunha reportedly both want out. In Cunha's case, potentially to join Arsenal, so I'm not sure if he even starts this one, or even makes the squad if that's the case. The last 4 weeks have been painful as a double Arsenal defence owner, no clean sheets over that run, despite being second best after Liverpool for expected goals conceded, with 3.7 XGC. And many are asking whether it's time to move on from the Arsenal defence. They're still one of the best, if not the best defence, but I do think moving off a double up seems perfectly fine. Especially when there's the Liverpool double gaming round the corner to attack, and they could be the route to Liverpool. So that's my plan for Gameweek 24 now. I was delighted to see Trent rested in the Champions League. It was Bradley who got the start, with Trent only on for the final 5 or so minutes. Salah, Nunez and Diaz was the front three, which might lend weight to buying Gakpo this week, if you're thinking about him for the double game week. I still think the Liverpool attackers are too unpredictable, and currently my thinking is to buy a defender or Alisson and just chase the expected minutes. So yeah, Trent's the favourite for a clean sheet this week, 51% chance. Home to Ipswich, he did just concede 6 to City as well. Back-to-back clean sheets and Munoz though, he's been a great addition to the team. The only thing I'd love for him to add to that is an attacking return. Palace given just a 29% chance of a clean sheet this game week, playing home to Brentford. So an attacking return might be needed to come away with some points here from that fixture. In midfield, we're lined up with Semenyo, Gordon, Salah, Bruno and Palmer. It's a very straightforward decision for captaincy this week. Despite a couple of blanks in a row, surely anyone other than Salah's overthinking it when he's home to Ipswich. Still miles ahead of anyone else for points this season, and he just scored in the Champions League as well. And as I say, Ipswich just shipping 6 goals to Man City, so Salah captain this week and obviously next week. In fact, probably all the way to Gameweek 26. Big shout out to Semenyo. I was actually starting to wonder if this guy would ever come good. Only Haaland and Salah have taken more shots than him this season. 17 points across the last couple of game weeks. And fixtures against Chelsea and Newcastle as well, we wouldn't expect much from him. He's still got a couple of rough games coming up. It's Forest and then Liverpool. After that, Bournemouth have got a nice run of games again. Kluivert no doubt is going to be the more popular pick after that recent haul, and he is on pens in fairness. It's an awesome fixture up next for Newcastle. They're going to be looking to bounce straight back from that shocking defeat to Bournemouth last match. They're away at Southampton next. Newcastle were starting to come out of an amazing fixture run and head in the opposite direction to Bournemouth fixture wise, so I am considering selling Gordon in the near future for Mbeumo. This week, easy hold of course, but maybe in Gameweek 24, though he does have Fulham home. Do you agree with holding Bruno over Gordon though, if you were going to buy Mbeumo in my case? Gordon's in the better form recently, but over the season only 1 point separates them. 11.59 XGI for Bruno, 11.46 for Gordon, so nothing separating them there either. Bruno's fixtures do look better though, hence I'm looking to sell Gordon. Lastly, Parma playing Man City away, who are showing a resurgence recently, no losses in their last 5 games. After some runs early this season of 4 losses in a row, and that other run of 2 draws, 2 losses in a row. So it's perhaps not the ideal time to face City. He blanked in the same fixture last season. I'm amazed that there's been some discussion on selling him. It's not crossed my mind at any point. However, he's actually the 3rd most sold player this game week. Over 150,000 have got rid of him at the time of recording. Up front, it's a front 2 of Wood and Isak once again. Only Kluivert's got more transfers in this week than Wood, which is a bit surprising, but maybe not after the haul. I just can't help but think there's better options with the fixtures looking less attractive now. For Forest, it's Bournemouth away, Brighton home, Fulham away, Newcastle away, Arsenal home. Mateta and Wissa is where I'd be turning my attention to if I was buying a forward now. Gakpo of course an option as well, depending on how you want to load up for the double Gameweek 24. Isak gets the vice captaincy this week. There's no 12:30 kickoff, so it's a later deadline, which does include Liverpool among the 3 o'clock games, so the early game in that sense. I'll be keeping an eye out just in case there's an outside chance of a Salah rest, given he did play the full match in the Champions League, and it's an easier fixture on paper, but I'd honestly be surprised. If it happens, then Isak captain instead. Make sure you tune into the deadline stream, even if it's towards the end if nothing else, for confirmation of any early team news and leaks. Liverpool have got a crazy schedule right now, it must be said. They've just played in the Champions League, they've got Ipswich this weekend, PSV away in the Champions League next week, and then it's the first match of double Gameweek 24, and then it's the League Cup, then the FA Cup, and then they finally conclude Gameweek 24 mid-February, so Slot's going to have to manage a few players for sure. On the bench, it's Fabianski, Strand Larsen, Colwill and Greaves. Unlike recent weeks, the bench is looking incredibly weak, so I'm going to need everyone to come through this week fine to avoid using Strand Larsen or Colwill against Arsenal or Man City. So let's go straight on to transfer plans for Gameweek 23. I'm sitting on 2 free transfers, 0.4 mil on the bank. I tried to set the team up with players that will allow me to keep rolling, and that is the plan again before the double. That will get me up to 3 free transfers. So a quick look at Gameweek 24 then with those free transfers. What's the plan for the double? Well, I had been looking to use the assistant manager chip then. However, the problem is I can't find a good way to free up the money needed for it. I need 1.5 mil on the bank if I'm going to buy a slot, and I don't want to buy Moyes. It could be Bruno to Mbeumo or Wood to Calvert-Lewin. I'm not a huge fan of that though, and without a favourable solution, currently I'm looking to save the chip for Gameweek 31 or later. So just to compare the potential opportunities, Gameweek 24 gets you Bournemouth away, Everton away, Wolves home and Man City away. Gameweek 31 gets you Fulham away, West Ham home, Leicester away and Villa away. Double Gameweek 33 on this graphic I've made here isn't confirmed, but it would happen if Liverpool knock Spurs out of the League Cup. They're 1-0 down from the first leg against Spurs, but they are playing at Anfield next. The Gameweek 31 run of 3 games looks a bit better as well, and it potentially saved a transfer, because those that use it in Gameweek 24 might end up using the transfer in 26 to sell slot before Man City away, so I quite like the idea of saving myself a booked in move. So therefore, an option I'm looking at now is Strand Larsen to Calvert-Lewin. This allows me to bench Semenyo against Liverpool in Gameweek 24. I'd also go right to Alisson, and then potentially Gordon to Mbeumo with the 3rd transfer. Gordon is home to Fulham, and Mbeumo's home to Spurs, so I might just make the first 2 moves to have 4 doublers and roll a transfer across to Gameweek 25. The last thing to mention is there's a very small chance of a Spurs double Gameweek 25. If that gets announced, then I'll be very tempted to go back to the original plan of using the assistant manager in 31, and then I'd sell a slot for Postecoglou or Silva for their double game week in 25. They might provisionally announce it if Spurs come top 8 in the Europa League, which would leave space for a double in 25. If Spurs knock Liverpool out of the FA Cup, then it could go in there. Thanks as always for watching, and hit like if you enjoyed the video, and make sure you're subscribing, especially for the double game week content coming. See you soon for the next one.